What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness across all social media platforms. This is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice. I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims, survivors, and thrivers of said disorder. Love the thrivers. Love the survivors too, yeah. And the victims. We love y'all too. Today's episode is going to be about what happens when a narcissist is vulnerable to you. When a narcissist is vulnerable to you. So y'all, if you haven't already, hop on Amazon, take a look at my self-love journal, Lee Hammock, I Love Me, a self-love journal designed to help you rebuild that self-love and self-care and all that other good stuff. I'm doing my own. I'm aware. So I'm working on my own, y'all. So that's on Amazon, Lee Hammock Self-Love. So what happens when a narcissist is vulnerable to you, y'all? I know people are going to say narcissists are never vulnerable, y'all. So this is one of the things I do hate about narcissists, the personality disorder, and dealing with it sometimes, is that not just the personality disorder, having it, but it's just also dealing with some of the stuff that some of the videos you see. It's like, all narcissists do this, all narcissists do that. No narcissist is ever vulnerable to you. Y'all, vulnerable narcissism is a real thing. There are literally vulnerable narcissists out here who kind of, use their vulnerability to manipulate you with. They typically fall more along the covert narcissistic side of things. Like you just think they're an overly emotional person, but they're actually using their vulnerability against you. They're sharing their trauma. They're sharing their childhood trauma with you. They're sharing how they got beat as a kid. They're sharing how their mom abandoned them, or their dad went to the store and got some milk and didn't come back until 16 years later. You see what I'm saying? They're sharing how mom or dad went out and got a pack of smokes and never came back, and that's why I hate women. Stuff like that. My dad cheated on my mom, and that's why I hate men. That type of stuff like that. They'll be vulnerable with you with their emotions and things like that to kind of reel you in. Like if a narcissist, if a narcissist, this type of narcissist was a fisherman, they would have their fishing line right, and the bait at the end on the hook would be vulnerability. The bait on the end of their hook would be their trauma. It's just like, time to catch me let me go to the deep water over here. Time to catch me an empath. Here's childhood trauma on the hook. Let me wring it out. Let me cast this line. They whip it, splash, and then y'all sitting over in the water. You see this vulnerability. Vulnerability, y'all. Oh, trauma. Let me fix them. And you just bite it and get yanked out. You bite it and get yanked out of the water. You see what I'm saying? It's really just like that, because you bite the vulnerability, you get yanked out the water, and the water is your safe place. The water is your home. The water is your friends and family. They want to isolate you. So now it's kind of like, they literally pull you out of the water of safety and things like that. I didn't know where that was going, but I think it ended up going in the right place. I think it ended up going in the right direction. just because I was just saying. But that's literally the dynamic though, y'all. It's how it goes. But there's narcissistic people for you right there, y'all. I'm saying, vulnerable narcissists do exist. But what happens if they're vulnerable to you is they feel like, now, because I've been vulnerable, even the non-vulnerable narcissists do the same thing right here, y'all. This is what even non-vulnerable and vulnerable narcissists do this once they share their vulnerability with you. First of all, they want you to share vulnerability with them. We want your vulnerability too. Hey, I share it with you. Now, hopefully you'll overshare with me. I shared a little bit with you. Now, hopefully you'll overshare with me. You know what I mean? So now when you're vulnerable to me, I'm going to use it against you later on. I promise not to use it against you. Hey, thank you for being so open. But 2 years down the road, we arguing. Now your vulnerability, your trauma is going to be balled up and thrown back at you. You know what I mean? But once a narcissist is vulnerable to you, this is going to sound weird, y'all. They don't trust you anymore. This is for not every narcissist is the same, y'all, but once some narcissistic people are vulnerable to you, they don't trust you anymore. They resent some of us, because I've done this before. We resent you for making us vulnerable. And I didn't know this in the moment. So no narcissist, I don't think narcissists know this in the moment. It's like a subconscious thing. It's like a subconscious defense mechanism, because now I've been vulnerable in front of you. So now I feel like a lot of narcissists see vulnerability as weakness, right? So now that I've been weak in front of you, now I have to treat you a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Now I have to protect myself against you because I've been open and vulnerable to you. Now I resent you for that. Now I resent you for making me have to be vulnerable to get to this point. And a lot of times, the crazy thing about it is, y'all, a lot of times, it's not always at the beginning, like where the vulnerable narcissist will lure you in. The non-vulnerable narcissist, that type of person, they will use their vulnerability in moments of crisis against you. And by crisis, I mean when you get ready to leave the relationship. Like when you're getting ready to leave the relationship, when you catch them cheating, they hit you, they've been lying to you, they've been stealing your money, they've been, spreading rumors about you. They just been, they've been living a double life or something like that. It's not always cheating, but once this vulnerability is expressed, like once you feel like they feel like this crisis has taken over their life, now they're open and vulnerable to you. Because typically, most times, they're going to be shut off to you. They're going to be shut off emotionally, which is a big issue in toxic relationships when you're dealing with narcissists, is that they emotionally shut off from you, all right? You're emotionally shut off from this person. Y'all are no longer talking. You're no longer, there's no more affection. There's no more love or affection. There's no type of, they damn sure ain't gonna cry in front of you. But when this crisis strikes, guess what happens? Here comes the tears. Here comes the I love yous. Here comes the doing the things that you've been asking them to do. Here comes the, that type of stuff right here. Here's them going above and beyond the call of duty to make you happy. Here's the emotions. Here's the love, the care, the kiss, and here's the vulnerability you've been asking for. Hey, here's my story. You've been asking me to be open and honest with you for the last 18 years, and I know I haven't done it. But since you caught me cheating, I can't even talk straight. Since you caught me cheating, here's some vulnerability for you. Here, have at it. And they'll open up and be vulnerable to you. And sometimes it's, the narcissistic person is feeling vulnerable in those moments. Again, but whether you take them back or not after these spurts of vulnerability, they're going to be angry at you internally for making them have to do this, because now they're going to feel like you've seen them at their weakest. You know who they really are. You know me. You know me. It sounds like Batman. You know me. You know me. So because you know me better than anybody else, now I have to treat you a certain type of way. You know what I mean? So we get to this point, we get into this dynamic where I'm angry, so I have to treat you a certain type of way because you see me vulnerable. Now I have to, I'm already protecting myself against the world. But now that I've been vulnerable to you, I have to protect myself against you even more. And you get it the worst because you might live with me. We might be in a relationship together. We might be in the same household. We might have kids together. We got a parent together. So now I have to do this type of stuff to protect myself. So once I become vulnerable, it shifts to me being angry and having to hold you. I'm holding you accountable for making me have to express this vulnerability to you. I have to hold you accountable right now for making me be this way, for making me feel this way, for making me get this way. You know what I mean? That's literally the mindset that a lot of narcissists and toxic people have. Like, I'm going to hold you accountable for making me feel this type of way. You get it? So you have to, in these dynamics, in these type of mindsets, you have to be the one that stands up for yourself a lot of times. I know people don't want to hear that. People's like, well, Lee, this doesn't make any sense. Lee, I'm just telling you the inner workings of a lot of narcissists. Like, this is how it goes sometimes. Like, you have to be like once I'm vulnerable to you, and there's no going back, y'all. Once they've expressed this vulnerability, it's like, once we let you inside of this bubble, this shield we have, this like vulnerability force field we have, once you're inside of it, once you step inside of it, like, whoa, I'm in here. Oh, you're super vulnerable. Oh, you're timid in here. I'm in your safe place, aren't I? And now they're going to punish you. They want you out of the bubble. They want you out of the bubble. They want you out of this vulnerability space. So they're going to treat you a certain type of way. Yeah, that's why I tell people you have to prepare yourself for these moments, because once they're vulnerable to you, yeah, you might feel good. You might feel good in the moment because they're being vulnerable to you. And you be like, dang, I do feel bad for you. Oh man, that trauma. Oh, I hate that for you. I didn't know your mom used to beat you. I didn't know your dad smoked cigarettes and you got secondhand smoking and you've been sick your whole life. I didn't know that. Now I feel bad for you. Now I'll take you back. But now, because you're taking me back, here comes the anger and the resentment because you've taken me back. You see what I'm saying? That's a very unique dynamic and a very different space to be in. But again, the more you deal with narcissistic people, y'all, this is how it goes. This is the mindset. This is the inner workings. So you have to stay strong. You have to stay empowered, and you have to stay, you just have to. Just be wary. Because once they're vulnerable to you, yeah, sometimes they show vulnerability. They share. It doesn't. Sometimes it's not even in moments of crisis. Sometimes before I end, sometimes it's not even in moments of crisis. It's in moments that they're drunk, or they might be drunk, or they might be high on some kind of illegal substance. They might be have too many glasses of wine, and here comes the vulnerability, right? Or you might be giving birth, or they might give birth or something like that. And then here comes the vulnerability, right? But they don't want to see that. You see what I'm saying? That's why you get some people in emergency rooms Like some male narcissists, I mean, some women narcissists don't do this well. They don't cry when their kids are born. They first hold their kids and they're like, dang, that's crazy. Got a baby. They don't want you to be vulnerable. Even there, my wife she would tell you, even in funerals when people pass away, don't even cry. You know, my wife would tell you this. Like she would tell you these circumstances. Like my grandma passed away, and I think my brother called me or my aunt called me. Somebody called me. It's like, dang man, your grandma passed away. I was like, oh dang, that sucks. And my wife could see my mood change. She's like, you okay? What happened? She's like, my grandma just passed away. And she like super turned red. She was about to cry. She was like, oh my God, are you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Let's finish this grocery shopping. And I could tell she was just shocked, which is surprising to her. So like I said, it's not always going to be in moments of crisis. Sometimes it can be when they're drunk or they're high on something or they're just super tired or something like that. They might be vulnerable to you then, but the end result is still going to be the same. They're still going to be angry at you, or they're still going to be resent you, or they're going to feel like they need to be not necessarily angry. They're going to feel like they need to be guarded against you because you've seen this part of it. You know what I mean? But anyways, y'all, if you haven't already, y'all, join my monthly newsletter, y'all. My weekly newsletter. I'm doing giveaways. This Friday, what's it? I forgot this Friday. This Friday, I'm giving away a couple of free self-love journals. I have a couple self-love journals I'm going to give away for free. All you got to do is join the newsletter. I'm just going to do a random drawing. I'm giving away 2 or 3 of them for free. I'll email the winners. Just, hey, drop me a PO box or something and whatnot. The newsletter link is going to be in the description of every single video, y'all. You just go scroll down or scroll down. It just says weekly newsletter. Just join the newsletter. That's all you got to do. Anyways, y'all. And today is the 20th. I'm filming on the 20th. What's today? 30th. So today is the 30th. So you want to see this on the 30th, whatever this Friday, May 30th, 2023. Anyways, y'all, like and subscribe for more. As always, mental illness is out. Peace.